Hi, my name is Jim Travato. I've been with Life Skills actually quite a while. I took the Phase 1 course twice, and then I became a facilitator, and I facilitated for about 6 years. So at this point, I'm part of the board here and helping Linda with her getting the organization off the ground and running. Actually, my wife took life skills before I did, and I had volunteered in other ways at the church, and she continued to encourage me to take the class. And I was around when she went through it, and I saw her going through a lot of things, so I wasn't quite sure what it all involved. But there came an opportunity for me to go, and I attended my first class, and not only did I realize that it changed me in some ways, but I noticed that the guys around me that were in the class with me, I noticed all their lives changing as well. So I really, realized how impactful the information is and how much it really can change your life. So after I went through it the first year, I liked it enough that I decided to facilitate. So I took Phase 1 again, and then I went through training with Paul up in Denver. And then I facilitated classes for about another 6 years. Yeah, so there's a lot of benefits really. When I took it, my boys were younger. They were still in their early teens, and my youngest son, I classify him as a world-class button pusher. He kind of knew how to get under your skin, and he had a way of saying things and doing things around me that caused me to react in not great ways, right? It wasn't violent, but it certainly wasn't a good reaction. And so as I took the class, I realized that it's possible to recognize when you're being triggered. And if you can recognize it, then you're able to take a breath and relax and give a thoughtful response instead of a potentially negative reaction. And so when my youngest son would come and try to push my buttons, and I began to recognize that, I was able to stop and take that deep breath, and then kind of make a joke or say, "Hey, what's on your mind?" or whatnot. And it actually got us to talking about whatever it was that was bugging him, instead of him just pushing my button and me escalating and him escalating, and really resulting in not a good outcome. So interesting though, as I continued to grow with that skill, because I wasn't 100% right off the bat, but as I continued to get better with it, he tried even harder to push my buttons, right, just to see whether or not he still had that same control. But after a while, after me consistently responding and communicating instead of reacting, he kind of quit doing that, and now we have a pretty good relationship. He'll end up just coming. He's much older now, but he'll end up just coming and talking to me about stuff, and it's really a much better way to have a relationship with your child. Sure. So, everybody who asks me about it, when I tell them I'm facilitating or whatnot, and they kind of inquire as to, what's it about or why should I do it. Basically, everybody's wounded in some way, and those wounds tend to cause us to react in negative ways, and it really impacts a lot of different relationships. So, no matter how good you might be or think of yourself, or how emotionally healthy you may think you are, or how damaged and wounded, there's something in it for everybody. I guarantee you'll learn some things in the class that will help you build stronger relationships, just love other people more, and like yourself more in the process too, because I think as you begin to make those changes in yourself, it just feels really good. I can honestly say, in all the classes I've been to and all of the ones that I facilitated, there was never a guy who regretted it, and I saw some amount of change in every one of them who actually applied themselves through the whole thing, and were there to get better. So 100% success rate as far as I can see. Give it a whirl. Sure. So first of all, I wouldn't offer this input unless I was asked for it, because one of the things I've learned is that unless you want to get better, it just doesn't really matter. So assuming, this person came to me and their life is falling apart and say, what do I do? Wow, where to start? You need to first be prayerful about things. Hopefully you've got some faith to fall back on and realize that God is with you and will bring you through whatever the situation might be. And from there, you need to get some help. You need to be around people who know how to help you and have the right materials to help you and have the right infrastructure to help you. And then you need to be willing, right? You need to go into it saying, I need help, and I'm willing to do, whatever's reasonable in order to improve the situation. So if you go into it with that perspective and you get the right people and you have the right attitude and you're willing to work at it, it may not be easy. In fact, it probably won't be easy. And it may not be quick. In fact, it's generally not a quick process. Healing takes a while. But if you stick to it, then you can, with God's help, get through it and be a better person on the other side.